Hey guys, it's Christina C. Jones. I'm coming to you from my kitchen today because I am going to be showing you how to make your very own soy wax candle. I've got my pot of water going, I've got all my supplies over here, and we're going to get it done. So the very first thing you want to do is make sure you have all of your supplies. And I know that probably sounds super basic, duh, Christina, you need to have your supplies, but seriously, make sure that you have everything you need, have it gathered together, because that's probably one of the biggest killers of the DIY or crafting project, not having everything you need. So we're gonna go through this. I have all my stuff. Speaking of having it all, having it all put together, I've got my wax pot, I've got wax, I've got fragrance oil, I've got a thermometer, I've got a vessel. You can use, there's a lot of different things that you can use to make a candle. I'm going to be using the mug that you guys saw me make in a different video. You can also make wax melts. These are just candy molds from, I think I got these at Walmart. I picked them because it was a flower and I was doing them for the roses. You want to have a scale. This is just a normal digital food scale. And you want to have a wick. I'm going to be using wooden wicks. That's what I have on hand because that's what I was working with for the project that I was doing before, and a pot of boiling water. And once you've got all that stuff, you'll be ready to go. So we've got our materials gathered, but one thing we need to keep in mind that when making candles, the details are important. Even if we're not doing it for a professional purpose, even if we're just doing it for ourselves, why not do it with the spirit of giving it the best we've got, right? So you are going to, the very first thing you're going to do is you're going to measure. The first important measurement is your vessel. How much wax can your vessel hold? How tall do you want to fill it up? I'm going to be making a 6-ounce candle, and so I'm going to be measuring out 6 ounces of wax. So I'm going to put my candle pot, my wax pot, on my scale and turn my scale on. Make sure that scale is zeroed out, accommodating the weight of the vessel itself, making sure that we are turned to the correct unit. I'm on grams, so I'm going to make that adjustment. I'm actually going to use this to scoop out my wax until we've got 6 ounces of flakes available to us in the vessel. I went over a little bit, so I'm going to take some out until I'm exactly, well, no, not quite, until I'm exactly at that 6-ounce measure. Okay, from there, I'm going to move my wax pot over to my pot of boiling water so that we create this double boiler effect. As you can see, you may not should have gotten this before, but I've got a trivet in there so that my wax pot is not directly against the bottom of this. You don't want to overheat the wax, you don't want to burn it. And as you can see, it is already, well, maybe not because I've got some steam going on, but it's gonna start melting, and that melting starts to happen pretty quick. Okay, so our wax is melted. We've got it safely removed from the pot. It's time to check our temperature. All right, yeah, we're just over, we're at about 165, 160 degrees, which is a good temperature. Our wax is not overheated. Just fair admission, when you look this up online, it's going to say to mix in your fragrance at 185 degrees. But after the research and everything that I've done, that is not my preference personally. I like to mix my fragrance in at about 150 degrees. I like to pour anywhere between 130 and 140 degrees. And so that's what you're going to see from me. So remember, I talked to you guys about the importance of measurements. So we have a 6-ounce candle. Soy wax can take up to a 10% fragrance load. And so if I'm making a 6-ounce candle, that means that I can put up to 0.6 fragrance in that without having problems with my wax. So I'm going to be real gentle with my measure. Oh, I went over a little bit. And so I'll have to, or is it because I got a little bit on, I got a little bit on my scale. So what you guys are about to see me do, scale went off. I'm gonna just get another container for my wax. I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna turn my scale back on and let's try that again. 0.6. So I've got this little extra left over. I'll pour that back in the bottle and that's gonna go in my candle. So my wax has cooled off to about 150 degrees. I'm trying to, there we go. My wax is cooled off to about 150 degrees. So I can pour my scent right into there. And then I'm going to stir, 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 stir. Well, I'm gonna wait before I do that because that sound is terrible, but I'm gonna talk to you guys very briefly about scent adhesion. That is how well your fragrance oil sticks to your wax. And so you're gonna wanna stir, stir, stir for about 2 to 3 minutes to make sure that your scent is sticking really well to the wax before you go for your pour. And so here we go. All right, so you got your vessel nice and clean, ready to go. You've got your prepared wax, still hot and at the right temperature for pouring, which remember, between 130 and 140 degrees. Measure that. If you were using a standard wick, or even sometimes with a wooden wick, but definitely if you were using a standard wick, this is the point that you would need a clip to keep it in place. And you would also maybe want to put a wick tab underneath the little metal piece that will come on a standard wick. There's some little stickers that you can get that you're going to put right on the end there so that when you put this down, it stays in the right place. I'm using the wood wick, and so I'm using this little stand to attach to my wooden wick. Now when I pour this, you might see it move around. That's not a big deal because of the way this is, you'll be able to pull it and kind of stand it right back in place. So I'm going to go ahead and pour my candle, and even though I held that, it might still slide around a little bit. I probably could have used a little more wax. I was accustomed to making the 6-ounce candle jars, but this is going to be just fine. Once this has solidified, it's going to take maybe 20 to 30 minutes. Some people will stick theirs like in the refrigerator or in the freezer to make that process happen a little bit faster. But whenever that's done, I'll be able to clip this down and then I'll be able to use my candle. Hi, hey, what's up? Hello. Remember when I talked about, you know, even if we're not doing this for a commercial purpose, even if it's just for ourselves, doing it with the spirit of doing our best and really giving it our all. That's not for no reason. If you're gonna go through the trouble of doing this, you may as well print up some Christina's Kitchen or print up some labels, you know, get in Canva, get in, you know, Photopea. Remember, I told you about those in a different video, but make it happen. These I printed just on my, you know, on my normal $50 printer at home. These are some of the wax melts that I made. And you see we got the Wax Poetic Signature, the fresh lineup candle scent that nobody has yet. But yeah, you know, put it in cute packaging for when you use it. Go ahead, go full blown with it. And but this part, especially if you are interested in doing this for a commercial purpose, I have a little tip. Avery, the company that does all the labels and name badges and stuff like that, they actually have a printing service where you can go online and have them print really, really nice labels, really nice waterproof labels for you. The camera's playing. There we go. There we go. But you can get really, really nice waterproof labels printed, and they'll send them to your house. It's not that expensive, but it really gives like a full quality look to it. And also on that note, you know, getting a good jar. This one is my personal one, so it's been it's been burned, but you can see the nice lid and everything that it has. And then the other one, this is the other jar. This one actually has, if I can get in camera, this one actually has a screw top, and then you have, you know, the little wood wicks, and it just looks really nice. So if you're gonna go through and do it, go ahead and do it full blown. All right, we've got our candle. We made it. And what I am going to show you here in a little bit is but first I'm gonna what I'm going to show you next is just using a nail clipper, a toenail clipper, how to clip this off, and then we're going to light this sucker and see what goes on. So if you've ever gotten acrylic nails done, what I'm about to do next might be a little familiar to you, but I'm going to take a clipper and I'm going to clip one side, clip the other side, and then snap that piece off. See? Then I'm going to use my clippers to kind of clean it up a little bit. Come on. And then there we go. So now that is nice and trimmed. If you see this little pit right here, that's from me cooling my candle down too fast in the freezer because I was a little impatient. I wanted to see it go. But we have our lighter. There we go. Gonna light, and there we go. We have successfully created a soy candle from start to finish. Thank you guys for coming along with me. Hope you enjoyed.